well, I think we have the participants. Hello, hello. So let's start. Distinguished speakers and participants from different part of the world. Good morning, good evening, assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining this interesting panel discussion today. So I hope you can hear me well. And first of all, I want to extend my warm greetings to all of you for taking your time to join this discussion, the most timely and most important discussion in the current context of socioeconomic landscape, where the very meaning and definition of jobs is changing very rapidly. And the way that we pursue job and we look for jobs is also changing very rapidly. So career guidance has been emerging as one of the important topics for all. And there has been different pilots, different innovations that people are practicing here. My name is Gunjan Dallakoti. So I work as head of program for ILO Bangladesh. I'm very pleased to moderate this session and solicit voice from the expert panels here. You can see all of them in the screen. So I'll not go into the detailed introduction of the panel as of now, because I'll invite them one by one. And when I invite them, I'll introduce them briefly. But at this point in time, let me pause for one more minute to see if anybody has any issue in listening in audio in this process, or if we want to see more participants are coming. So let's pause for 30 seconds. Then I will ask Asad after that to start with his presentation. 30 seconds for now, please. Mr. Asad, you can get ready with your slides already.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Please put it into the presentation more. Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay? Yeah.
Looks good. So, colleagues, hereby I want to introduce the first panelist, keynote speaker, Mr. Asaduzzaman, who leads the strategy and innovation work in Aspire to Innovate program of Ministry of ICT, Government of Bangladesh. So, Mr. Asad has been invested in fourth industrial revolution related skills development, career counseling, and employment support service for young people for some time now. He's a non-figure in Bangladesh, and he will walk us through his very brief presentation.
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, কেমন আছেন? নো প্রবলেম। না আমি ভাবছি আপনার মধ্যে আমার মতো দেরি করে উঠেন আর কি।
কেউ একজন বোধহয় ঢুকে গেছে। আসাদ, আই এম রিকোয়েস্টিং ইউ টু মিউট হিজ মাইক্রোফোন প্লিজ।
হ্যালো। আচ্ছা, না কি বলেন আপনি কল দিয়েছেন এটা তো এসে।
দ্যাট মে বি ফাহিম মাশরুম।
আমি একটা লিস্ট পাঠাইছিলাম
Colleagues, on the ground rule, can you please mute your microphone?
আপনার কোনো প্রেফারেন্স আছে মানে ক্যান্ডিডেট পার্সপেক্টিভে? হ্যাঁ, না আমার লিস্টে তো ইনশাআল্লাহ তো আছে।
And organizer colleagues, I want to request you to provide me
না আমিও আমারটা তো মিক্সড। আমারটা দেখেন আমি দুই প্যানেল দেখি মিক্স এন্ড ম্যাচ।
Okay. So, Mr. Asad, the floor is yours. You have 8 minutes to make your presentation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Gunjan. So, esteemed guests, panelists, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to deliver today's keynote presentation before you. As we discussed, this is very timely topic. We know the employment landscape is continuously changing for youth around the world. Let's put all hands on deck to ensure a brighter future for youth and navigate effective digital solutions to support career guidance for youth. Slide is not. So you know the government of Bangladesh already declared a vision of smart Bangladesh. So it has actually 4 pillars: smart citizen, smart society, a smart economy, and a smart government. So actually career guidance is a significant part of a smart citizen, and actually smart employment is also a significant part of a smart economy. So let me explain the youth context of Bangladesh. So in our country, actually, 165 million total population actually, and labor force growth is actually 2.2%. That means every year more than 2 million youth are coming to the labor force, and working age population is 109.5 million, and total young population from age 15 to 29 is 56 million. So we have few challenges regarding youth skills, employment, career guidance. So if you see the slide, you'll see that in our country, the drop rate is high. In secondary level, it 35% plus. In higher secondary level, it 21% plus. And diploma and tertiary level, it's 7% plus. And youth in need, that means not in employment, education, and training, is also high. That means 11.6 million. In our country, actually, youth unemployment rate is 10.6%, and graduate unemployment rate is 47%. And when we actually talk to our employers, actually, it's their feedback that more than 60% of the youth actually are entering into job market as a fresher, and more than 80% actually they have very poor skills. So actually, till now we have discussed about the statistics related to youth and employment in Bangladesh. So we all are well aware of the fast evolving world around us. And in today's changing world, catalyzed by AI and automation, we need to prepare the local and global future workforce to cope with the changing nature of workforce and workplace. This slide shows how the nature of employment has been changing around the world. So if you see, you will find that in UK, 30% of the existing jobs will be lost due to automation. In USA, it's 38% plus. In Germany, 35% plus. In Japan, 21% plus. In Australia, 40% plus. And for Asian countries, it's 56% plus. And if we see about the top 30 occupations that are risk globally, telemarketers, library technicians like this. And also we have also found from different researches that there are top 30 emerging occupations globally due to automation, like recreation workers, human resource manager, mental health counselor, this sort of jobs actually. So in Bangladesh also, we did a similar type of studies in 5 priority sectors in 2019, and I was the lead researcher actually. And we found that actually in Bangladesh, in ready-made garments, textile, furniture, agro-food, leather, and tourism, actually 5.5 million existing jobs will be lost due to automation. At the same time, 10 million new jobs will be created by 2041. Very recently, we have also conducted another study on all 16 economic sectors of Bangladesh, from ready-made garments to transport sector. And we found that actually in those 16 sectors, by 2041, almost 7 million plus job will be lost in existing occupations, and 11 million new jobs will be created in different occupations like blockchain expert, AI specialist, virtual home assistant, robot doctors, robotic technicians, this kind of occupations. So actually, until now, we learned about the changing job nature around the world due to automation and other factors. To protect the youth from the outcome of this change, effective career guidance is extremely important. Career guidance can potentially be a game changer in shaping this career path for youth. Let's take a look at career guidance scenario globally and nationally. The globally accepted guide counselor counselor to student ratio is 120, 1:250. In Australia is 1:400. In USA is 1:408. In Africa, actually in South Africa, it's 1:337. In Europe, Croatia, it's 1:125. And in Asia, mainly in India, it's 1:3000, which is very high. And if I look at Bangladesh scenario, actually, I told you earlier that almost more than 2 million young people are coming to the job market every year. and almost 60% of them are actually coming to the labor market or job market as a fresher. Actually, they have no career goals or no significant plan in academic career. And 95% of them youth are aware of less than 10 career options like engineering, medicine, law, finance, and IT. In contrast, there are 250 plus career options available in Bangladesh. So in Bangladesh, actually, no career coaches or counselors in 95% schools, no guidance center in 56% universities, no employment-related programs in 94% TVET institutes, and there are 50 plus career guidance centers working in a silo approach. So actually, there are three types of career services, career guidance services we have actually in Bangladesh. Career counseling, it includes test the applicant, problem identification, CV writing, review the resume, career planning, that means identify the skills, discover the scopes for matching jobs, career guidance, follow-up, then career placement, that means coaching, career summit, smart employment fair, networking, industry linkage, etc. So in our country, actually, we have a few good practices regarding digital solutions. So actually, we have a national platform. We call it NICE, National Intelligence for Skills, Education, Employment, and Entrepreneurship, NICE. So under NICE, there is a significant platform led by National University. Respected Dean is here. And their platform name is Employment and Entrepreneurship Platform of National University. So it's you can tell, largest university in the world in terms of, because accommodating the students, because they have more than 200 plus colleges with 3 million plus students. So they have started career guidance and career guidances in all colleges. Actually, recently started. They have, this is a good practice, and that other colleges or other universities, even other technical institutions can follow them up. Secondly, with the support of ILO and Global Affairs Canada, we have established another career guidance platform for the host community youth in Cox's Bazar. So, almost more than 1 million Rohingya people are here. That's why the rural youth who are actually deprived from skills or employment or entrepreneurship, actually, we have started career guidance for them virtually. Thirdly, actually, it's a proposed solution. As I told you earlier, that currently there are 50 plus career guidance center in Bangladesh working in a silo approach. So now the government is working how we can create a common vision for them. That means all can work together under a common umbrella named by a Smart Career Guidance Network. So actually it will connect our government 333 call center, also social media. So a stakeholder will be the existing polytechnics, technical school and college, universities, skill service providers, industries. So actually, it will strengthen the existing career guidance club and centers, minimize the gap between industry and academia, create expert pool, provide guidance on emerging jobs, enable youth on earning through freelancing, empower youth through entrepreneurship, develop a future-ready workforce, and facilitate on employment. So this will be actually objective of this platform, which is actually in planning phase right now. So my sincere gratitude to all our distinguished panelists and audience for engaging in this vital discourse. Together, we have explored innovative digital solutions to empower youth in navigating the evolving employment landscape. Let's continue our collaborative efforts to ensure every young person finds their path to success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Asad. Please take the presentation down. Thank you so much for sharing this very informative, very rich content from Bangladesh perspective. So this is indeed a very well researched and well thought through, and you are also sharing some framework and platform for career guidance and youth employment support services there, which is really praiseworthy. So colleagues, let me quickly jump into some discussions. Let me also still get some perspective from the Bangladesh. And for this, I want to invite Ms. Tasina Ahmad, who is an authority in herself when it comes to career guidance, career counseling, and youth employment skills development in Bangladesh, with more than 30 years of experience in the development sector, and also leading successful institutions like USAID Bangladesh, and also establishing a career, skills development branch in BRAC. Tasrina comes as an authority in this field, and she is now chairing as an executive director. She is serving as BYLC, which works with the private sector, youth, and mainly focus on the career counseling and career guidance issues in Bangladesh. So my question to Ms. Tasrina is, like, with advent of digital technologies, how do you see in your 30 years plus experience that career counseling service is evolving? And how will it impact on the quality and access of such services? How would technology impact on quality and access of services? So I want to hear from Ms. Tasrina, please. Tasrina Ahmed?
Need to be unmuted. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
thank you. Yes, we do.
Thank you very much for this humbling introduction, but also for this opportunity to say a few words in this very important discussion. I would like to start with congratulating the keynote speaker for providing a very comprehensive overview of the implications of the fast-changing global and national context when it comes to the fourth industrial revolution, technology and digitization, and the gaps and opportunities that emerged and some solutions for the way forward. Coming to the topic of discussion, from our experience and from my experience basically over the years, but especially when I have worked with USEP, which is very much engaged in career counseling and job placement, but over the years, over the last few years, working with Bangladesh Youth Leadership Center, we have seen that career counseling has evolved very significantly over the years, especially with the impact of global trends like the fourth industrial revolution, even the pandemic, which actually forced us to get into technology, get into online services. BYLC, as some of you know, has been providing leadership training for the last 15 years, basically, which includes 21st century soft skills, but as well as employability skills, a big focus of which is actually career counseling, mentorship, guidance for young students. And we work with schools, colleges, and universities at different levels. We have different models of counseling for different age cohorts. And this is one of the lessons that we have learned, that there cannot be a one-size-fit-all model when you are dealing with a heterogeneous audience. Digitalization has come in very strongly since 2020, also for us, and our models that we were using had to include blended and online courses. So we had a very big shift at that time, as many of the organizations, not only in Bangladesh, but all over the world. So what we did was that, we started with testing and then, field testing, fine tuning. It was a learning process where we were expected to deliver due to the fast changing demand, but also develop the models at the same time. So we started also using digital forecasting models to identify market demands and opportunities at that time. We revised and upgraded our services accordingly, and our courses gradually included tools like self-assessment with which users could identify their existing skills sets as well as their own gaps and weaknesses, not only in their own professional or personal skills, but also in the tools that they were using for job searching. For example, developing a resume. So once they were able to understand their own gaps in their skill sets, they were also able to enroll in relevant courses, which were developed not only by us, but agencies around Bangladesh or even around the world. So this is very necessary because in most cases, the keynote presenter also said that there is a huge gap in counseling in school, colleges, universities. So how do we equip our youth when such a big gap exists? So these kind of tools are essential. And the plus point or the exciting part is that if you look at Bangladesh, not only youth, but people in general are acquainted to technology especially because of the the attraction of social media, young people especially. So how do you use also, this to our advantage? We have been gradually increasing our partnership base, which is now over 100, including employers, but also partnerships with over 40 universities. These partners actually provide us with experts in counseling and mentoring our students. So making counseling and mentorship very much relevant to the need of potential employers or students who want to do career building. That is also very important when it comes to this shift.
Yeah.
Conducting regular research and evaluation, very much essential when it comes to quality, maintaining the quality of the products and the services on a regular basis. BYLC, in our experience, we have been providing counseling. We've provided, I think, over 7,000 youth have been provided counseling, mentorship, and professional development. Majority have been placed in jobs. We have an online platform, BYLCX, which we introduced to democratize education. So it's a free online where we have over 80 courses. Many of those actually are on counseling, mentorship, and professional development. And through this platform, we have already served over 50,000 youth. Now, what we're trying to do is to see that how to make this online digital counseling more accessible to disadvantaged communities, because that's where the challenge that we also faced is that the availability of devices, the non-availability of skills to use devices, or even the non-availability of data at the demand end. So these were challenges that we were facing. The keynote speaker talked about, emerging skills that would, be useful for the country to go ahead. We have also faced this challenge when we were dealing with, these changes in our own program. So, for example, the lack of dynamic platforms due to limited web designers, the lack of curriculum specialists and online content creators when it came to online or digital counseling services, the lack of stellar presenters apt in the art of public speaking who are able to captivate an audience, the lack of market researcher, educators connected with employers or technical experts, and practically also the fact that, that when it comes to career counseling, it's not only about the technology, you also need to understand the psychology of education, the psychology of, the whole fact that now we are dealing slowly with a changing generation of students who are becoming younger and younger. So the need for them is much more different than the need of potential employees who were there 10 years ago. So understanding the elements when it comes to counseling. So I would like to stop just stressing on 4 points, summarizing what I said. First is that, ensure accessibility by making available devices, data, skills, especially for disadvantaged communities. Second is that don't reinvent the wheel. There are good practices. Identify those, invest in those good practices instead. Excuse me. Third, very important is that strengthen linkages between demand and supply, between potential employees and employers. The critical link between hard and technical skills and soft skills, including employability skills when it comes to counseling. Invest in product development, in testing, validation, knowledge management. So there must be money aside for research, even when you are experimenting with models of counseling. Concluding, I would like to state that, that in the way forward to a smart Bangladesh, digital technologies are essential, counseling is critical, but soft skills are fundamental when it comes to effectiveness, relevance, and quality. So I will stop there. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much, Ms. Tasina. That makes you authority in this skill field. Thank you so much for sharing those very insightful discussion. Colleagues, I request you to visit the BYLC website. I'm sure colleagues will put that in a chat box so that you can access the information, further information, and reach out to BYLC colleagues if you need further information. Now, without repeating what Mr. Tasina had said, I just want to pick up one point, strengthen linkage, the third point that she has mentioned, and invite our other panelists who has been doing this strengthening linkage and sitting just between the job demander and job providers, is one of the leading and the pioneer jobs platform, job search platform, bdjobs.com, the CEO. And also his identity does not limit to there. He's also serial techpreneurs in Bangladesh, and none other than Mr. Fahim Masur. So Mr. Fahim, welcome to the discussion as a panel member. And I have a question to you. Since you deal with hundreds of thousands of youth through your platform on daily basis, how challenging is it? How critical do you see that career counseling for the new generation youth that are willing to enter into the job market, that are willing to enter into the emerging employment market? How critical the career counseling service is, and what could be the best way to deliver those services to the youth? So, Mr. Masur.
Thanks.
And
I
please limit
think
your intervention in a very short time. I know you are business people, you always value the time. So over to you, sir.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me. So directly to your kind of question. So I think that there is a lot of disconnect between what the job market is actually looking for, particularly for the private sector, and what the students or kind of parents are actually aspiring for. Say, for example, like we all know that particularly in the graduate space, the students who are coming out of their colleges or universities, almost 50 to 60% are actually unemployed, remain unemployed for 2 to 3 years. Different studies have actually reflected that. So one of the typical response that we get from policymakers or from a lot of the industries is that there are not enough skills. While I agree that there are issues of skills, I actually think that the problem is much more with the mindset. Say, out of these kind of 50-60% people who remain unemployed, it is not that they remain unemployed only for the skill. Of course, skill is an issue, but it is a lot of the cases these people are unemployed because they don't get the type of job they actually are aspiring for. Say, for example, if you go to any kind of universities or colleges, if you make a survey, you will find that almost 90% of the students actually aspire for government jobs. But we are actually having almost kind of almost 500,000 graduates coming up in the job market every year, but government can actually absorb less than 10%. So 90% of the people, students need to get absorbed in private sector. But unfortunately, they don't want to get into the private sector. We know a lot of the cases where people are actually offered jobs in private sectors, but they refuse. So they actually rather spend their time in getting prepared for the government jobs. But not all of them actually end up in getting government jobs. So I think that kind of mismatch needs to be addressed, and that needs to be addressed at not only the student level but also parent level, because parents are actually pushing their students to actually only look for government jobs. So, and also I think the policymakers, particularly the state, also needs to address that because sometimes state also encourages people to look for government jobs only. Because, for example, now an entry-level government job actually offers much higher salary than private sector jobs. Now, you may ask that why private sector jobs are giving much less salary, because they can't, the business doesn't allow them to do that. But for government, they can always kind of either print money or tax people's money and then actually pay government the people. And we all know that there are a lot of other kind of benefits the government can actually give. So I think that is a kind of issue we need to address holistically. You mentioned about the career council, I think, for example, in India, we know that a lot of the parents actually send their students to good universities so that they can actually get jobs in, for example, Google or Microsoft, because they have seen some of their kind of brothers or sisters are actually working in global companies. But in Bangladesh, our parents don't actually motivate the students to aspire for those kind of global career. They motivate their kids to get into kind of a BCS kind of career or kind of a police officer or that type of thing. So I think we need to actually work at different levels, from policy level also to the parent level, because at the end of the day, the mindset, if we talk about career counseling only on the students, it will not work unless we also target the parents, because parents actually push their students to choose the career path. So I
Yeah.
will actually end that. So because there are a lot of other speakers, so but I just want to make sure that it is not only the skill that we sometimes focus too much, it is also the attitude, mindset, and for that it is very important to give the right perspective. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for keeping time and highlighting the issue of mindsets, which we also call foundational skill. In addition to the vocational or technical or occupational skill, the foundational skill and the attitude towards work needs to be shifted out there. So thank you so much for your intervention, and we will get back to you further if there is a question from the audience. I'm sure there is a lot, and if time permits. Now I want to invite our distinguished speaker, Mr. S.M. Shahjahan, who is Deputy Director in Bangladesh Technical and Education Board, mostly dealing with the TEBET institutes, TEBET skill certificate, quality control, and all those aspects. So, sir, my question to you is, how are TEBET institutions in their program, curriculum, or all the processes, how are they responding this issue of career counseling need among the students? So what are they doing? What is the system doing? Please limit your intervention in 3 minutes, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, distinguished moderator and panelist and respected participant. I extend my warm gratitude to all. You know, the Bangladesh running 65.5% working age population at this moment. The government has taken a lot of skills development initiative for Bangladesh with the support of the development partners and his own capacity. You know, nowadays the presenter already presented this technological transformation and impact of the 4IR, the industry looking for the digital and ICT enabled workforce. You know, the BTB is designed the curriculum and incorporate with the skills, digital skills like cybersecurity, digital marketing, SEO. These are the 4 skills related competency relevant to the job market at this moment. And you see the BTB revised their existing TEBET curriculum, integrating the occupational skills and soft skills. Implemented the dual certification system according to NSDP 2011 and BNKO report 2021. It will help TEBET graduate to build their career with the academic programs. You see, the entrepreneurship training program can empower young people to start their own businesses. Taking into account the BTB has incorporated entrepreneurship modules and sometimes subject in their TEBET curriculum. Considering the recent development in the TEBET sectors, you see the TEBET institutes develop career counseling program especially designed for the TEBET graduates. This program address the challenge and opportunities faced by the graduate entering the workforce with the technical skills. And also the institute develop career guidance content that is tailored to the needs of the aspiration of the TEBET graduates. This can include information of the job opportunities and local industries, scholarships, and vocational trainings programs. It should be the gender sensitive and material to be the inclusive for equal access to information. So, collaborating the industry, the big issues at this moment. The partner allows the TEBET Institute to gain insight to the current job market demand, industry trends, and skills requirements, offering internship and apprenticeship as a part of the training curriculum, expose students to real work and environment and help them gain practical experience. The BTB incorporated the industrial assessment program in the all curriculum at this moment. Establishing job placement service with the TEBET institutes can facilitate economics between graduates and potential employers. A career counselor can assist a student with their resume writing, interview preparation, and networking skill to enhance their job prospects. Technology can be used in the to deliver career guidance service to the youth in the remote and underserved area. For example, BTB already developed eCampus, an online platform, and to provide the information about the job opportunity training programs and other resources that can use for the career guidance and career building of this. For building the smart skills Bangladesh, BTP can collaborate with all the Tibet stakeholders, organize job fair, skill opportunities, seminars and workshops for the industries, academia. You know, they all the development partners, they are supporting to implement this type of programs. And HY also offer the smart employment fair in the different region of the Bangladesh. It can encourage the young people to go for their to choose their career for the futures. This is the last I want to say. The Tibet Institute operate the job placement and career guidance cells to support the Tibet graduate for their careers development, but it needs to strengthen more. Some development partners and they support to government institutes and the NGOs and some private institutes. They also maintain the career guidance cell to get the promotion of the employment opportunities. This is the time limit because of this, for giving my opportunity to talk this program. I like to thank the organizer for this purpose. Thank you very much for kind patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sajan, for highlighting that broader perspective from the Tibet side, how Tibet system in Bangladesh wants to see that, career counseling and job placement issues and all. One point that when I pick up one point that you mentioned, the need for more and better collaboration with the industry. That's one of the areas that cuts across not only in the Tibet system, but also in the formal, formal academia, overall education system in not only in Bangladesh, but also across the border. So, and at this point, I'm pleased to invite our colleague from Ghana, all the way from Ghana, Miss Delphina Dubu, correct me if I mispronounce your name, program lead for Blossom Academy Ghana, to share her experience and expertise and how academic institutions like hers are prepared to tackle these issues of the career counseling services for the youngsters. So, Delphina, over to you. Please limit your intervention in 3 minutes. Thank you. Delphina, are you there? Did we just lost her? Okay. While Delphina is coming, so I want to request then to get again Bangladeshi perspective by inviting Professor Dr. Nasiruddin, Dean of School of Undergraduate Studies, National University of Bangladesh. And my question to him is also in the similar space, like how should academia in Bangladesh respond to this career counseling need? So Delphine, I'll come to you later. So we lost you momentarily, so I'll come to you later. So I want to hear from Professor Nasiruddin. Sir, over to you. Please limit your intervention in 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shigunjan. Good afternoon, good morning, everybody who participates here from National University, Bangladesh. I'm just welcoming all of you. And thank you very much for inviting me in this nice session. The question that you have asked me, basically, I don't like to give this answer on a theoretical perspective. I will give you some example of the practical aspects, because right now, a big question arises that, yes, yesterday, if you see a survey have been published by Bangladeshi government agency that there are 2.5 million people are unemployed in every year in Bangladesh. And before that, there are a lot of surveys, VIDS and some other organizations have surveyed many times. They have shown that there are 66% people who passed from National University. They are unemployed as well. And right now, it was before pandemic. And right now, I mean, after pandemic, 2 years have gone. They have surveyed newly, and just 2 months before they have declared that, yes, it's a significant development from National University that they have reduced the number from 66% to 28%. So 38% we have just increased our employability. It's the radical changes that I would like to share from this platform. And from the practical aspects, as I'm working here as a dean in National University, so I have to work with 3.5 million students simultaneously all over the country, because it's like a, the campus of the National University situated in every location, every pros and corner in the country. So we have 1 million. I'm just repeating you, 3.5 million students, 2,257 affiliated colleges, and 100,000 teachers we have throughout the country. And for your information, I would like to share one information, that is the student number in National University is as much as 102 countries. If you altogether the whole population, it will be not more than 3.5 billion. So in terms of that, we are the 4th largest university in the world. And I'm working here. So the traditional approach, my perception is the traditional approach was a little bit failed earlier to create the employability, to encourage the students in the job sector. Because you see the traditional curriculum, I'm just talking about the curriculum, because the major part in our activities occupied through the curriculum. Because if we change the way, if we change the career of the students, we need to develop our curriculum. So earlier, for your information, in public universities, it is possible every after 1 year, they can change their curriculum. But in National University, this is difficult because of the number of students and the area, So we are changing it every after 5 years. It is also a little bit delay, I confess. But right now, it is developing, it is just modifying 2-3 years later. So traditional approach has already been, changed. Now we have started our innovative approach, that is skill-based approach, total skill-based approach that we have started since 2019, before pandemic. We did a tracer study all over the country, and we have found this result that it is not working well. So what's required in the market? Through a tracer study, we have found that in current context of the Bangladesh, we are talking about only higher studies, because grade 12 level, we don't deal with it, board will deal it. So we are talking about the students who are enrolling themselves as the honors student, or the degree student, or the professional honors student, or above that. So this sort of students, we found that, yes, in the job market, they don't have public speaking as much as they require. They don't have communication skills as much as they require. Similarly, they don't have ICT skills even as much as they require. So where is the problem? Analyzing the market in 2019 to 2021 during COVID, we 3 deans together with a big team, our National University, we found that market requires 58 skill-based disciplines. And based on that, our Vice Chancellor has also just given us opportunity to develop an academic master plan that will work in the next couple of 20 years. And for your kind information, we already developed it involving countries, renowned professors, academia, industrial linkage, and finally, it has been inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister in last year, 16th of June. So finally, our full approach have been changed. But it's a country like Bangladesh. We cannot change over the night the whole thing. It takes time. So gradually, we are just going ahead. And during research study, we found that 58 subjects cannot be endorsed at a time. So what we do, we did just 12 skill-based program at our postgraduate diploma level and 20 short courses. Those are the basic for our students, and that are the basic need for the job market as well. Many of you said that, yes, our supply side is very poor, but our demand side has been created. Of course, I agree, because we are not producing as much as ICT people our industry requires. Even our students who are going abroad, because of their speaking English skill or Arabic language skill, they are always less paid. It is proved everywhere. That's why we have introduced language program here. I mean, English, Arabic, and some other languages need-based. I mean, France, Spanish, Korean, China, etc. And entrepreneurship itself has come as a discipline. Digital marketing, cyber security, capital market investment, supply chain management, etc. I mean, 12 disciplines newly we already have integrated, and 2 years have gone. Already second batch is now starting here. We got a good response from the market. And 20 new short courses that we have already designed. We did not design it by ourselves. We involve people from industry people, I mean the country now, say for example, a BCCI, DCCI, BGMEA, I mean R&D sectors, SME sectors, all experts were here. On the other hand, our professors, renowned professors, they were here, and they collected information, what's required in the market, because while we do our tracer study, we have given them some information. Based on that, they have just developed it. So now the train has just started. It's a good beginning, I think. And I hope that, of course, it will work well. Meanwhile, I need to say something about A2I, because A2I, we are working with it since 8 years. Before, I mean 8 years, just last 8 years, we did a lot of things. We did a lot of things in a small scale. But right now, I mean, from last year, they have submitted a full-fledged proposal, because based on our need, we seek proposal from countries, renowned experts, or some freelancer as well. But A2I has come forward, and they have given proposal. Right now, they are working with us on, I mean, especially entrepreneurship, employability, smart job fair, and they are doing workshops on career guidance simultaneously. Career guidance, they are launching EPP, that is one of the website, entrepreneurship and employability. And finally, they have started communication skills, and someone from you mentioned soft skill. We are highly emphasized on this soft skill, and for your information, that is ICT. Two things are completely, I mean, correlated with our students' values and ethics. That's why we have mandatory our ICT program at the first year level. Every student who will enroll in the National University, they must have to take ICT as a mandatory course. And when the fourth year students, they have to take soft skill as a mandatory course. All of you know that every people knows ICT 30%, even an expert of the ICT. So the 70% will be the soft skill, how to approach, how to apply, how to present, how to talk. So based on that, I mean, just covering all of the things, we are now in the right track, because we are committed to our Prime Minister's vision's implementation. That is, in 2041, Bangladesh will be the smart Bangladesh. And if you want to build smart Bangladesh, you need a smart citizen. From where you will get a smart citizen? We, as a national university who deals with 70% of the students in the country. So the magic is now in our hand. We strongly believe. That's why not only the policymakers believe it, Ministry of Education, UGC, DGDC, our Accreditation Council, NSDF, Freelancing Authority, A2I, all are together. We are together working to just achieve the goal of our Prime Minister's vision.
Thank you so much, Professor.
I hope finally, just 30 seconds, finally, I hope that we will be succeed in our attempt, as our vision, as our mission is finally fixed up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
I hope
Professor
that I convey
Nasruddin.
the message to all of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I wish we could have more time to listen to you, which is always interesting and exciting. Thank you so much for sharing what you have been doing at the National University of Bangladesh, which is a massively labor surplus economy in the world. Now I want to invite our panelist, Ms. Delphina Dodo, to share how prepared academic institutions in our global south, or whatever we name it, is to address that career counseling needs. Delphina, over to you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Sorry for the drop off earlier. I think I was having some internet challenges, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to share as well what is happening in Africa. I think when it comes to academic institutions in incorporating career guidance services, I think there's been some progress over the years. More institutions are getting to understand the essential need for career guidance for their youth when it comes to transitioning into the job market that is ever evolving in these present times. I think we can find several institutions that have set up career guidance centers that are helping their youth to navigate developing their career path, and also to get the necessary help them to thrive in these careers in the future. When it comes to this, I think Blossom Academy is a pace setter. For us, we are into developing and deploying data and leadership professionals for Africa to drive innovation. And for us, a critical part of this is the soft skills session. So we have incorporated career guidance services into our curriculum and into our training model, where all fellows who come on board to get trained, whether it's in data analytics, data science, AI, also get the components of the soft skills side, where we're doing trainings that will cover CV writing, cover letter writing, interviewing. We have simulated interviews with career counselors, career coaches, instructors, just so that the young people can have a feel of how these happen in the regular world. We're also giving them training in presentation, elevator pitch, professional on leadership development skills, such as time management, stress management, because we believe that it's important to have a good work-life balance, positive work ethic, how to adapt in the thriving job market. And then we also do a lot of industry collaborations, because we are big on how do these young people eventually transition and become valuable to the various organizations or industries that they're going to be working with at the end of their fellowship. So we're thinking things like career fairs, industry visits, where the youth will get to have a sense of the day-to-day running of these organizations. And then most important to us is the post-training internship phase, where we collaborate with industry partners who will say, hey, we can take on this number of your fellows to come and do a 3 to 6 months long internship, where these young people get to practicalize the skills that they've gained from their training. And it gives them some kind of experience that will help them to boost their career development from there. I think something that we're also very big on is leveraging digital platforms like LinkedIn to make connections with people in professional settings that you're interested in, getting mentorship, also putting yourself
Okay.
the normal people in the industry. I think some gaps when it comes to career guidance in the African landscape, mostly because there's limited infrastructure and resources like funding, and also the lack of adequate career guidance professionals who support these young people. But I believe that there's hope. We're getting there. We're catching on with the need for these skills or services for the young people. And so if we're doing more collaboration and if we're doing more leveraging of digital solutions, I believe that we can enhance and also widen the reach for these career guidance services for young people, so that they are better prepared to enter into the thriving job market.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Delphina, for this interesting insights and interesting discussion. We lost you briefly, briefly during the discussion, but however, it was very pleased to hear this interesting experience from Ghana, which is itself an exemplary country on various aspects. So, without further ado, let me. I picked up one point that you mentioned: the lack of career counseling professionals. And at some point, there is also lack of career counseling institutions. And that also sometimes links to, whole discussion of who provides those employment support service, career counseling and all. At ILO, my organization that I work, we have this separate unit or dedicated units on the career counseling, career guidance under our employment department, because our role is create more jobs, have more opportunity for young people on the jobs, and bridge that issues of job demand and job supply in here. And we have a specialist here, Francis Domora, from ILO Employment Service Specialist, with massive experience of setting such institutions in different countries in the region, in the globe, and in the world, in the global south. So, Francis, my question to you is, what is the institutional mechanism that best caters this career counseling need or career guidance need for young people? And you have been championing this public employment support services. And how does that work? Who pays for that? And how could that be best promoted? What is the institutional fit for that? So we want to hear your perspective, Francis. Over to you.
Thank you so much, and hello everybody. So yes, from the ILO in Geneva, I will try to give you some element. I will propose a very short vision about the role of employment services in career guidance. First, I will share my screen for only one slide, so it will be very fast, very short. Could you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think we all want effective career guidance, which allows young people to easily access employment. For this, it seems very important to me that the different actors have a realistic and up-to-date vision of the realities of the labor market. This is increasingly important today because we know the job market is changing very quickly with the economic and all the element, and the needs also of businesses and as a profession are changing very quickly. And in my opinion, public employment services have an essential role to play in promoting everyone's information on the reality of the labor market. The PES, the Public Employment Service, is a central actor between employers, workers, and training structures. Employers' needs are changing very quickly due to technological progress, also the new environmental rules, and also geopolitical crises. Jobs are disappearing. New jobs are being created. And we know all professions evolve. Thus today, employers, when recruiting, are more interested in the adaptability of candidates, the soft skills, than in technical skills. Young people, and generally all workers, must understand these new realities of the world of work. They will not spend their entire lives in the same profession and in the same companies. They must therefore acquire the skills for lifelong self-orientation. They must themselves, excuse me, they must keep themselves informed about development in the world of work so as to adapt their skills, not to be surprised by change and seize new opportunities in the labor market during their professional life. For training organization must also keep themselves informed of the realities of changing business needs to continually adapt the content of their program and prepare young people with soft skills. At the center of these three actors, the Public Employment Service must offer simple, up-to-date information and material on the labor market. It must meet employers regularly to find out their needs and facilitate the connection between all stakeholders. It must support also job seekers in lifelong career guidance. And we know digital tools can facilitate this mission, but they can also be an obstacle. Indeed, the digital divide, what we call digital divide, is a reality. Many job seekers, even young people, do not know how to use digital effectively or do not have access to tools or good level of connection. So the Public Employment Service, therefore, has a role to fight against this digital divide by supporting job seekers and facilitating also sometimes access to tools. It must also raise awareness of digital risk. For example, by explaining the concept of digital reputation. We know that today, employers use social media to investigate candidates before hiring them. It is therefore very important for every worker, for every job seeker, and in particular for young people, not to publish photos or information on social networks that could harm their professional reputation. On social network, it is important to separate private and public life. Many thanks for your attention.
Yeah, thank you so much, Francis, for this illustrious conceptual mapping of how public employment service should respond, should be designed, responded to. And that answer, by the way, your presentation also addresses some of the questions that has been coming in the chat. So we have been monitoring chat and we are seeing that important question of how do we protect ourselves from these digital security issues, data security issues? How do I leverage the potential of digital opportunities, but at the time be aware of the digital security issues and all? So these are some of the concerns that has been coming over the time in the age of digital era. I mean, there is always a pros and cons. While we are having a luxury of easier, faster access to information and service, there is also an issue of the security and data security, digital security and all. Thank you so much for sharing this and sharing that conceptual mapping of the public employment services. We'll get back to you with the further questions, Francis, but meanwhile, let me jump to Sir Jeff Mulgan, Professor, University College of London, massively invested in the social policy, social field, and also looking to various aspects of the socio-economic issues and the policies front and all. Sir, before I come, I request you for your deliberation. I also want to go those emerging questions like how can we leverage that emerging technology for youth empowerment? How can we mitigate the risks? How can we use the potent digital tool to redefine the career? And these are also the questions that participants are asking. So in that context, my question to you is, like in this changing landscape with the technological disruption and digitalizing, and when you talk about the social policy, where does this youth employment support services, particularly career guidance and youth service, employment support service, the bridging of academia and the job seeker and job provider, where does that fit in that overall social policy discourse there? And how this discourse has been shaped or will be shaped by the advent of the technologies there? So, Sir Jeff, over to you.
Okay, I will be very brief because I know we have run out of time and professors always speak too long. So I will be very pithy. I've been working on trying to answer exactly this question for 10 years, partly through practical pilots, partly working with governments, including in Australia, UK, and A2I in Bangladesh. And I think the way you frame it is exactly right. We have both a new task and new methods of how to achieve it. The task is how to cope with incredible churn in jobs and skills caused by technology or trade patterns and demand patterns, and they are very complex. There's a huge uncertainty of what the effects of generative AI will be on jobs, how many jobs will require physical presence or not. And so this task of helping people to navigate, to plan, whether it's kids in school or students, but also actually older people whose jobs have disappeared, is very different from what careers guidance meant a generation ago. And often in schools, teachers are not well placed to understand what is happening to technology and jobs. So essentially, again, this we could talk for hours on this. I think the new task essentially has to combine at least 3 or 4 things which are different from careers guidance 20 or 30 years ago. One, as you say, is the orchestration of data, what is actually happening to jobs, skills, pay levels, geography. Most countries still have rather weak systems for mapping the present realities to guide young people's choices. Second, there has to be some attempt at predicting which will grow, which will shrink, as Assad showed at the beginning, what skills are likely to be in greater demand and in shrinking demand, and the patterns will often be quite complicated. For example, many digital jobs may face rapid decline. They are easier to automate than some non-digital jobs. Some traditional jobs will survive but mutate. And then there's the navigation tools for young people, which have to be easy to use, often using short video as well as data. And where it's the combination of the career advisor, the human being, and the online self-assessment, self-guidance tools is key. And in most countries, it's not clear whose job this is. Where does it sit? In an employment ministry, between different agencies, with an education ministry? So a crucial task for every government is thinking who is going to take responsibility for making this happen, to be systemic. And then there's the question of capabilities. Then usually these capabilities on data, on software, on UX and design, again, are not ones which are traditional for employment ministries. So this is now an absolutely central task of social policy, but it requires new structures, new capabilities, new methods, and a new partnership between government, society, and business. So that's, I hope, about a 2-minute attempt to answer the question.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciated your response, and very timely response. Probably it will require a bit of unpacking going forward. We look forward to your deliberation in the future convenings, future discussion and webinars as well, Professor Jeff. So colleagues, we are already overrunning time. So allow me to overrun for another, let's say 6-7 minutes, if that's okay for you. There are several questions coming from the chat group, coming from different colleagues, also coming from Bangladesh colleagues. You know, some questions mostly direct to Professor Nasiruddin. Why all of a sudden this big chunk of graduate unemployment is coming in the economy? There are also issues, specific questions like, if I need a service, where do I go? I'm a web developer, where do I go to get that service? This kind of questions are there. I kindly request our panelists to keep eye on monitoring these questions, these questions, and provide with us the feedback so that we at ILO, ITU, as an organizer, we are accountable for responding to our participants. And your response, we want to document these and provide these documents to the colleagues, or we want to direct our colleagues, the participants who are participating, direct you to have a specific response. So if you could kindly share your website, share the way that participant can reach out to you, that would be really appreciated. And colleagues, I'm saying that because we already ran over the time and we may not have an opportunity for live question and answer session. This is not a pleasant way to present this discussion there, but unfortunately time is the most critical thing for us now at the moment. So with that said, I want to invite our colleague, I want to invite Mr. Mullah Mizanur Rahman, who is a joint project director, joint secretary in Inspire to Innovation program, the Information Communication Technology Division of Government of Bangladesh. Sir, please provide your closing remarks and also guide us the way forward. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gunjan, for giving me a chance as a panelist and invite me. And good afternoon and assalamu alaikum, everyone. Honorable speakers and esteemed guests, as we bring this enlightening webinar on employment in a changing world, effective digital solutions to support career guidance for youth, to a close, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the respected speakers for their invaluable contributions and active involvement. Your insights have enriched our understanding and inspired collective action towards empowering youth for the challenges ahead. A special thanks also go to our moderator, the keynote presenter, for their pivotal roles in making this event a success. Dear audience, the webinar effectively highlighted global and Bangladeshi best practices in youth career guidance, emphasizing digital initiatives for skill enhancement and employment, which was our main objective of today's webinar. It also provided an open platform for stakeholders to discuss and design inclusive digital solutions for youth career guidance. Globally, career guidance plays a crucial role in assisting individuals to make informed decisions, particularly in light of challenging labor market conditions and anticipated rises in unemployment rates. Worldwide, 13% of youth are unemployed. About 80% lack adequate career guidance. 71 million youth are without jobs. About 60% of countries lack comprehensive guidance programs. Addressing this issue demands collective endeavors to establish effective career guidance infrastructure on a global level. Bangladesh is no exception, with 2 million individuals joining the labor market every year and the total youth population 15 to 29 years old amounting to 56 million people. The country faces severe unemployment with a youth rate of 10.6% and 47% unemployed after graduation. Lack of career guidance compounds the issue, with 94% of Tibet institutes lacking unemployed after graduation. Lack of career guidance compounds the issue, with 94% of them taking a apprenticeship program. In addressing the issue, the government aims to decrease the percentage of youth individuals not engaged in education, training, or 10.5 million young people by 2030, with the aim of reducing the unemployment rate to 3% by 2028. Bangladesh seeks effective career guidance for youth, aligning skills with job opportunities to boost economic growth and prosperity. When considering our way forward, various avenues can be explored. The employability of the youth can be enhanced through collaboration by exchanging knowledge and expertise. Engagement with international development partners, ITU and ILO, to support the southern countries would be highly beneficial in addressing the issue. Additionally, the sharing of best practices to address common issues will contribute to solving global problems and cultivating comprehensive development worldwide. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to all speakers, participants, and organizers for their commitments. Together, let's continue to aspire, innovate, and empower the next generation for a brighter future. Thank you all for your commitment and active participation. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring word. And dear colleagues, panelists, participants, and the listeners of the webinar, so we are coming to an end of the show. So I kindly request you to take a few minutes to fill that evaluation form, which my colleague Lina has been projecting. I'm sure it is on your screen now.
So Lina, if not, then please project that in the screen so that colleagues can fill it in. And stay connected there. Youth Foresights will be circulated, development circulated. We'll keep on hosting such interesting webinars and discussion going forward. Stay tuned. And yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much for all your insights, discussion, and questions. Very interesting questions. We'll try to answer these questions in the due course of time. Thank you so much. Lina, anything that you want to say or do?
Thank you, colleagues, for joining today, and all the participants. And I invite you to visit Youth Foresight platform, where you can get more knowledge and can participate in the future webinars as either as participants or speakers. And again, thank you so much for your excellent moderation, Wanchata, and all the excellent speakers. So thank you so much, and sorry again for running late, and we are 15 minutes late for the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. The meeting is closed now. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.